Hi everyone, welcome to Fine Wine of the Old World. Today I would like to talk to you a bit about the French wine classification. So I'm sure it is a bit confusing for you, so hopefully we can go through it and hopefully it makes more sense afterwards. So yeah, please enjoy the video and please do drink responsibly. Today I would like to focus on three groups of wines, which is IGP, AOC and also Vin de France. AOC, when it comes to the translation, is Appellation d'origine contrôlée or protégée, so AOP. You can find it sometimes, and this is the same thing. This is the highest rank of the quality of the wine, so this is the highest quality you can have in French wine. And the AOC, they control the way you grow your grapes and how you make your wine and in which proportions you use different wine varieties. So that's a bit problematic for some winemakers, and that's why you will learn why we have also the third group, which is the vin de table, table wine. If you wanted to translate that category into our European standard, it would be the protected designation of origin. So imagine, for example, cheese that comes from Gruyere region. It would only be called Gruyere if it complies with the regulations, and those regulations is PDO. So as I said, this is the protected designation of origin. So within this designation, you can find the wines that are regional, sub-regional, also the village, and also we get the special classification. So remember about those four groups. For you to understand it better, I would like to go through my actual life example. So when it comes to regional, then would be Champagne region. Then Champagne region is divided into the sub-regions. And for example, one of them is Côte de Blancs, and this is where my champagne is from. And then you get the village, which in my case is Vertus, and this village is one of over 300 villages, and they also are still classified into the Cru, Grand Cru and Premier Cru. When it comes to my example, I will show you, it is actually the Premier Cru. I hope you can actually see it. If not, yes, please go to my Instagram and you find the photo there. The AOC wines are regulated by the laws, and these are in order to protect the winemakers and to still cultivate their tradition, to make sure that the highest quality wine is produced. And so that's why it sounds like a hard work, and it is a hard work, but then I'm sure once you get your license, it must be extremely happy day. And that would also mean that from now on you have to follow the growing conditions that are in this particular area, that your yields have to be controlled so you can't overgrow your fields. So yeah, that's why we have to pay quite a bit for a bottle called champagne, and that's why you can, for example, there is also very high quality wines like, for example, Crémant, and they are also high in quality, but they don't come from that particular region that is protected by this AOC group. The second group is IGP, which is Indication Géographique Protégée or VINDP, and there you can see that there is some geography in there, which means that this classification is related to the wine of the land. As the name suggests, this IGP actually covers the broader regions, and in English you would translate it as to protected geographical indication, and the winemakers still need to follow some certain rules, but they are not as tight as it was in our AOC category. The winemakers here can decide whether which grape variety they would like to use and what kind of wine they would like to produce. But what is important about this IGP wines is that they still have to follow the requirements, so certain amounts of alcohol, sulfur, or still the yields are still controlled in this category. IPG category has twice less designations than from the first one, so you still get over 100 different designations. And what I want you to remember, one of the examples, for example, Comté Tolosan, I don't know why, but it's easy to remember for me. Then the last category is Vin de France. So it can be any wine, any grape variety, and there is no control over it. And very often people think that this is like the last sort of wines, which is sometimes not true, because sometimes still winemakers make very good high quality wine, but they don't apply for the license and they don't want to be scrutinized. And so you can definitely find some perfectly made wines, although yeah, they would be named by the table wine. And because this is the not controlled classification, the only thing that you can be sure about in this category is that the grapes will come from France. So still French grapes to be used there. Well, I would suggest that you go to the wine shop and then you read the labels. So have a look at the labels, try to guess which category that is. And I think with the French wines, because they very often go by the regions rather than grape varieties, I think that would be good for you to practice it. So yeah, I think this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you see another one soon. Bye!